on tonight's late HP show, our night show, although it could be day where you are from. 5D Mystic Woo Lady here in the Enlightenment Soul Age Group and Functional Adult Pseudoscience gets to talk to you all about the beauty of true educators. And while some people are not ready to be in the state of consistent forgiveness, repairing the veil, and so that would be people who are healing their childhood trauma. The serious people, they will talk about why they want time and how, and their entire journey to their self to find that they were not actually drifting aimlessly when they could not find inspiration within the unlimited and limitless possibilities in this lovely plane, that the reason they were not able to see above the fray was because of being in the dust devil of stagnation of what unresolved trauma does, because there's no ability to tap into your ventral vagal soothe system, the rest and rejuvenation, because you're in hypervigilance and you're also actively thinking of the next negative nightmare. Implicit bias, implicit memory comes up, and so your truth is tainted. You don't have confidence in your own magic, let alone in the magic of humanity, and you need direction. And if you find the wrong people, like the wrong therapist and the wrong ethical culty cult or traditional cult leader, you will not find a way to resonate with who you truly are, because those who have not resolved their own trauma, they do not know how to give you the path to your unmarked trail, because that is exactly what it is. A return to yourself is you being able to understand that people who are serious about helping people, for example, Pat Ogden, I was watching one of NICABM's the videos, and she talked about the physical exercises they get to do with people to help them move beyond patterns that have come from safety behaviors. So please, appease, attach, cry, collapse, submit, fight, flight, fright, freeze, fawn, drop, flop. We also have the fact that a shame cycle is an inner critic, outer critic. Then you go compulsively fucking, drugging, sometimes also drinking, sometimes fooding, depends. There's a lot of others. So the people who are actually on a journey with a good therapist, they're not shouting at other people, but they're saying, we don't have to do forgiveness with our family of origin, not the entire human species. No, that's another thing that, again, if somebody is yelling, they're actually not healing trauma at all, because they're in a survival nervous system mode, and they're basically spreading their upset nervous system around. So they're in a modulated and dysregulated nervous system, so they're not helping to stabilize other nervous systems in, where are you in this? No, there's not rest, rejuvenation. A lot of 4D mystics, they don't realize that they're in a dust devil of their own, but that's because pseudo-aliveness is what they know. So is hypervigilance. So saying, I'm going to beat up Bill tomorrow because he looked at me weird. One of those lovely examples that I got from Patrick Tiahan, LICSW. He's a therapist, healed childhood trauma survivor healing. I always say, because I don't know his whole story, but point is, movies like that and sayings like that, as you and you're sympathetic, go be an ancient silverback, shall you? So, long story short, back to Pat Ogden, and as she was saying, these experiments, it's not about the contents, it's not about what's happening around, because what comes up is the way the person is organizing around a particular issue or person, and how their nervous system and them and the implicit memory, because your charges like mine, they get processed as they unfold. But mine, I'm a securely attached person who maintained a differentiated whole 3-year-old heart. So I don't have a shame cycle. I don't have a shame button. I don't have a hot button, meaning I don't get triggered because you call me a piece of shit. I don't actually give a shit. I mean, even if my family calls me that, I'm like, really? Ask my family members. They'll tell you about my blank stare of no shame. Don't you have a shame? Nope. No, I don't. Can I go now? I'm done. I did what you asked me to do, for example, and I don't get called a piece of shit, by the way, but I should spell out I wasn't terrified. I didn't have a parent, my primary caregiver, or my sibling that was around me, my twin, and then my younger sibling that had frightened or frightening going on. And they didn't have a nervous system that was offline, so there was a circumstance for me to grow up with secure attachment. And so anybody who has secure attachment could easily become their actual Zen master. Let me put that to the side because, you know, shiny, shiny is what people actually are looking to. You have a lot of teenagers out there. I remember teenagers. I chose not to look to them at all. And I chose my friends carefully, the smart ones that knew about quality of life, which means you don't do anything in excess and you do not disobey the law because the law exists for reasons. And if you are okay with it, you go and vote. You don't create conspiracy theories. You don't go talking about the ancient times of Atlanteans and Lemurians, and therefore they're taking our divinity away. No, you go learn from educators. So I was watching this really great educator talk about consciousness and the mind, and how consciousness is not in the mind, or the mind and consciousness, something like that. So he was saying, actually, the brain structure anyways, to be continued, put it to the side, but it was fascinating. It was like, wow, okay, now I like that one. So Pat Ogden, it's not about the content. We get to work with the implicit phenomenon that drives the content. So whatever's happening, a person's implicit memory comes up and they're reactive, which is why they don't know how to be responsive and turn that cheek like Jesus talks about. They also don't know about not casting stones. So the people who are not ready to repair the veil, like I said, they're seriously helping themselves with good therapists, and they explain to you why they won't put up with certain things, because they're working to become their adult self. So they're still reparenting, and that means they want only healthy self-worth people around them who know how to regulate their own nervous systems versus project. So they will very nicely, by the way, not like rude teenagers. No, the adult will say, I have trauma, I'm healing it. I have an attachment wound, I'm healing it. Here's how I actually get under stress. You're putting me under stress. So I understand that you're made a certain way, and I don't want to change that actually. I like you. You're a very beautiful person, but my nervous system for now needs to be somewhere different. That's what grown-ups know how to do, because that's what a grown-up says. I can explain to you my condition, because it's not really a condition, but it's a way that my body, so when I get panic attacks, one of the times I was out at an event and I was being asked to eat food, and I said, if you want me to vomit all over your table, I will gladly eat more food. Otherwise, I'm informing you, I will not be eating more food. This was on the side, like a grown-up, not yelling. I wasn't shouting. I wasn't making a scene. No, I looked at my friend and I said those words. You want me to vomit on your tablecloth? No, I don't think so. Okay, so I'm telling you, I'm not eating. Thank you. Bye. I'll sit here quietly and try to work it out. I'm doing good, but I'm not eating food. So there you go. That's what a grown-up knows how to do. And smile, not to pretend to smile. It's because, again, learning how to be in a social context is very grown-up-like, don't you think? It's called emotional maturity, regulating your nervous system, and a thing that anyone can work on if they want to. Mystic or not, FYI. And when you're mystic, it's even more amazing, because consciousness in that field. So we're going to talk about that one, not right now. Anyways, as Pat Ogden closes out, and I'm closing out, she says, so through these physical exercises, we're changing patterns of organization through it. And this is at the root of healing and change. So the people who are not ready to forgive and are healing, though, with good therapists, that's why they're going through a change to return home to their true self, which is a whole, giggly 3-year-old self, or if they never had the opportunity to have any type of attachment that felt safe, and so they had traumatizing attachment, they know that they're not a piece of shit, a devil or evil or demon. Even if they have dissociative identity disorder, they know there's nothing wrong with them. They're not broken. They have what's called a nervous system and an embodied brain, and there are people out there, great therapists that can help them. People like myself, mystics, 5D only, because 4D talks about people like energy vampires, dark auras, and they yell at their twin flame and they call each other names like teenagers do. So they have groups, so no 4D mystics. 5D, we have this all over the place. It's Zen master plane. So we're integrated brains and restorative embodied selves. Our mammalian heritage, that's why we're Zen masters. And we know how to talk to you directly and with love. Whole 3-year-old hearts, tune in.